Consider supporting DanDanTheFireman on Patreon for just $1 a month. More information in the link below.
What is up, everybody? Dan the Fireman here. As you can tell, I got a brand new helmet. I don't have my Yi 4K, it's the action camera right there, on my helmet because I wanted to try this out. I'm still doing a review, all that stuff. And if you guys follow me around on my Discord channel, which link in the description, guys, check it out. I talk about my helmet, I talk about a bunch of other stuff in there. And obviously subscribe to this channel because you guys would have known that I got a brand new helmet. And I want to talk to you about what to look for in a helmet and kind of what I looked for in this helmet. While I'm doing that, I'm going to fill up because I need to get some gas. All right, because I got my phone right here and it has a bunch of information. And this is, usually I just do bullet points and I kind of just go off it.
Oh, God. Nose is itchy.
I still don't know if you hear me better with or with the visor up or down, but I wanted to go ahead and try this out. So anyways, the most important thing for a motorcycle novice to know is that wearing a helmet reduces the risk of dying in a crash by 37%. According to the National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration. They are a agency, a part of DOT. It's an American thing. So 37%. It will reduce your risk by 37% if you wear a helmet. So what to really look for in a helmet? Number one, you need to have a face shield. This face shield, I love it. It's a silver face shield. It comes with a white one, and you can tell there's like a little dot right here. It's a pin lock system to where it helps reduce fog. Having a shield on is very important because you do not want to have any debris go into your eye while you're riding. When you have debris go into your eye, guess what? You're not going to be able to see, and that sucks. And a lot of face shields like this one has an anti-fog attachment to it so that it helps out from fogging. So it's same thing. If it fogs up, you can't see, you're going to crash. Also, you want to have anti-UV features. So see if the visor that you're going to be getting, or the goggles that you're going to be getting, or even just sunglasses that you're going to be getting, it has a UV feature. It's resistant to it. You do not want eye cancer, especially in Arizona. It's sunny all the time. You don't want skin cancer, eye cancer, all that stuff. Also, what you can do when you go for a ride is you can flip it up if it gets too hot. That's the great thing about having a visor, because right now it's starting getting a little bit hot. All right, got all that stuff. Where did my cap go? Oh, my cap fell on the ground. So the next thing you need to look into is obviously the fact that your helmet should have a rigid outer shell. It's like a thermoplastic, it's fiber thermoplastic, a reinforced composite, like a polycarbonate, a bunch of fancy scientific names when it comes to the helmet. And usually all helmets have that, but it all depends on the strength of it and the density of it. So you need to have one that's very high rated, that can actually handle the impact and not just shatter and disintegrate when it comes to an impact. So having that is very important. Most helmets have it, so it's not something that's super hard to find. Excuse me. But it's definitely needed. The next thing you need to have is an impact absorbing liner. Now, that is like the styrofoam that's on the inside. So you have that hard shell polycarbonate on the outside, and then you're gonna have like a secondary liner, which is impact absorbing, and that is what's really gonna protect your head. It's usually made of polystyrene, which is styrofoam, and it's the second dense layer that cushions and absorbs the shocks. It doesn't, the first one, the hard shell, kind of protects from penetrating trauma and can absorb a little bit. Now the second one absorbs a lot of the impact. And when that happens, it compresses upon impact. So that's why when you crash, you obviously are gonna have to replace the outer shell, which you can't just replace on a helmet. But the reason why you don't wanna have you don't wanna have that helmet after the crash is because that, oh, we got somebody pulling out. That polycarbonate styrene, or the styrofoam, will compress, and therefore it's not going to be useful again because it's already compressed. So you need to have a second helmet, or you need to have another helmet after you crash. Hopefully you're doing fine. The next thing you really need to have is ventilation. Now this thing has a lot of ventilation. The Bell Bolt has a ton of ventilation, but that's just because it has like a bunch of holes, and the ventilation, air just kept flying up, and you can get dust in your eyes and all that stuff. That's something I lived with. But this one There's vents on the front, there's vents up here, and I can feel the airflow going across my scalp and the top of my head. And what that does is not only does it keep you cool, but it also can, if it's designed well, prevent fogging. And I mentioned that with the face shield, you need to have something to where the ventilation prevents the fogging itself if you don't have an insert like I do with the showy pin lock system and the anti-fog system going on. There are some really good helmets that have ventilation that ventilate the shield and ventilate throughout the mask, so there's not a buildup of moisture and causing a lot of fog. So you do need to have good ventilation, and it's something you definitely need to look into when you get a helmet. Because when I was looking for these helmets, or a new one, I saw the showy X14, the showy RF1200, and there's a few others that are meant for more of a tucked position, and that is how the ventilation works, is that you have to be tucked for the ventilation to truly work. As a Harley rider, as somebody more upright, that wouldn't have worked for me very well. So I picked a dual sport helmet that does allow that, because more dual sports are upright, right? And then when you're off-road, you're standing up, so you're not tucked in. So with this, I do have more ventilation, and I do have the safety rating of a Snell rated showy. Now the next thing you need to have is a chin strap. Now as you can tell, I didn't clip it in. There's a little clip, but right here it's a D-ring type chin strap. Now you need to have a very good chin strap. Now I'm gonna see if I can plug it in while riding. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's just kind of to keep it from flipping and flopping. Oh, there we go. Got it. Okay, cool. Now you need to have a good chin strap, and you need to actually use it. If you don't use a chin strap and your helmet's not properly fitted, even if your helmet is properly fitted, in an accident, there's a great chance that your helmet's just gonna fly off. You need to have the chin strap to actually keep the helmet on. As much as you think your helmet's tight, you need to have this to where it's coming on. Now there's the typical quick release, there's the more common D-ring like I have. It's just a D-ring. It's super simple to figure out. Plus in the manual, if you have trouble with that, you can take a look at the manual and it'll tell you how to do it. Let's go ahead and see if I can adjust. There we go. You need to make sure you have a chin strap and you actually use it. I see a lot of people online thinking it's cool, just slide the helmet on, have it all floaty, and then they take off. It's like, really? You crash, your helmet's gonna go flying off. It is gonna fly off your head. The rotational forces, the amount of G forces going on a crash, your helmet's not gonna stay on just because it's a little snug on your ears. You know what I mean? You need to have the chin strap on. Even sometimes, if you don't have a quality chin strap, the chin strap could just snap. So always double check your chin strap. Make sure there's no fraying, make sure there's no cuts in it. And when you go buy a new helmet, make sure there's no damage. You know, there possibly could be a manufacturer's issue to where there is a cut, there's fraying, and it's like, I'm not buying a new helmet like that. So always double check that. Now this is kind of like a little bonus thing, and I wasn't going to include it, but I think it's actually very important. There was another rider, he wasn't wearing motorcycle jeans. Anyways, that's that's another topic. And this thing I almost didn't bring it in is the fact that Bluetooth. Look and see if your helmet includes Bluetooth or capabilities of Bluetooth, or think about maybe adding Bluetooth to it. That can make your helmet safer. So that's why I'm saying it's like it's not needed, and that's why I wasn't going to include it. But it's actually it's a pretty interesting thing to think about, is that you don't want to be fumbling with your phone. I mean, I know you're not supposed to. I have my phone right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. I have my phone right here. You don't really want to be fumbling with it, changing the music, changing, something, answering a phone call, or trying to answer a phone call with, with headphones and like the mic on the headphones, blah, blah, blah. Having a Bluetooth on your helmet, you're able to answer phone calls if you have to. You're able to change the music if you want to change the music. You can listen to the GPS instead of just kind of watching the GPS. You can talk to your buddies with that have Bluetooth, so you're not having to do hand signals, taking your hand off the bars. I know, I keep getting shit about that. Whatever. But it actually makes it safer, and that's a system that is usually relegated to your helmet. So that's how to make it safer. That's what to look for in a helmet, because there are some helmets that have seen a Bluetooth or Bluetooth systems built in or ready-made or purposed so that you can add one easily, comfortably, and it's very important to actually keep you safe. So look at the helmet, look on the inside, see if there are cutouts, see if there's speaker cutouts for it, where the ears are, and see if there is a section to slide in speakers, because some helmets don't do that. So double checking that is a great feature to have. and that is something to look for when it comes to choosing your helmet. And you know, I'm going to be adding the S.M.A.R.T Bluetooth, the SMH10R, to my helmet, this helmet right here. And for me, on the Bell Bullet, the speakers, they have speaker cutouts. They really do. They have speaker spots for you, but it was too tight, and it was too painful. So what I did was I actually bought the SMH10R adapter for headphones, and that is an option. So always look into that when you buy a S.M.A.R.T or when you buy a Bluetooth system, if you are able to use headphones, because usually headphones, just typical headphones, can make it a little bit more comfortable if the if you can't have speakers. So if your helmet doesn't come with a speaker slot, that might be an option, is to use some type of headphone connected to the Bluetooth, and you're able to make it work. Tons of different things that you could do, and I'm not the end-all be-all when it comes to Bluetooth and figuring all that stuff out, but there's this great community, growing community on my Discord channel. There's a link in the description. It's the first link. Click that. You'll be invited to the Discord channel, the Dan the Fireman Discord channel, and there's well over 100 people in there right now, and we all talk about, you know, what kind of bikes, you know, we take pictures of our bikes, what kind of helmets we have, what kind of gear we have, some interesting tips and tricks on what to do with this and that when it comes to helmets, comes to gear, how to waterproof, how to summarize, winterize. We talk about everything. So if you want to check that out, please click that link in the description, that first link. It says join the Discord channel, and be a part of that community and ask questions there. But definitely ask questions in the comments below, because we have some hardcore guys that know their stuff in the comments, and that's what they do, is they just stick to YouTube. That's their thing. But with that said, I hope you guys ride safe, be safe, and I will definitely see you guys later. And I can't wait to make this helmet more personalized after I spent so much time researching and figuring out what it is I wanted with this helmet. I'll see you guys later.